Here we go. All right. So how much do you earn? And I don't really want you to put it into the chat, but I do want you to know that when I ask my world famous friends, they say they earn more than they think anyone deserves. When I speak to people typically in a presentation like this, you typically say to me, you earn less than you deserve. Why do my friends earn much more than they think anyone deserves? And why do you earn less than you know you deserve? Why? What's wrong? What's the difference? What's going on? And I know the difference, and I'm going to tell you the difference at this presentation. In fact, coming up in just a few minutes. Are you ready for a huge change? Do you want to be in the top 1%? Well, what is the top 1%? It's $300,000. It's 300,000 euro. It's 300,000 pounds sterling. That's what the top 1% is. You might say, okay, Mr. Big Shot, but how much do you earn? And I won't tell you, but I'll tell you the best I ever did. The best I ever did is earn $1 million in one 90-minute speech. Wow, wow, wow. And if you don't have this thing that differentiates me and my friends from you, then you'll feel that life is unfair. I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing at this funny picture. Do you feel that life is unfair? Then you need this special thing. And I'm going to get to it in just a minute. But first, you must climb the 4-rung ladder of wealth. How many rungs? 4. And the first is visibility. Every single person who's wealthier than you earns more. Every single person who has more visibility than you earns more than you. And every single person who has more credibility than you, that means they're known by more people, is wealthier than you. And so you need visibility and credibility, because when you have visibility and credibility, you cannot stop the wealth from coming in. If you have visibility and credibility, you cannot stop the wealth from coming in. Uh-oh, I said there would be 4 rungs and I've only delivered 3, but there is another one. It's in the dark side. It's in the wrong direction. It's invisibility. Invisibility. 97% of people in the Western world are completely invisible. They're known by a few family members, a few co-workers, and a few neighbors, and that's it. And when you're invisible, making money is tough. Where do you earn more money? At the top or the bottom? At the top. But you typically have to take one step at a time. But I've invented the only 2-step. And it starts from invisibility, which is lucky because that's where 97% of you are, and gets visibility and credibility all at once because it's the 2-step. But you already know that if you have visibility and credibility, you can't stop the wealth from coming in. So it goes from the very bottom to the very top. It's the most brilliant idea I've ever come up with. And here it is. You must have your own book. You must have your own book. Wow. My dear friend, Dr. John Gray, he's the one who wrote Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus, Kids Are From Hell. I asked him if he could change one thing in his amazing life, what would it be? And he said, I'd rather have a book than a PhD. What? Why? He said, call up a radio station and say, would you like to interview me? I have a PhD. They'll say no. But if you say, would you like to interview me? I wrote the book on men-women relationships. They'd say, of course, come on right in. But not just on that topic. If you've written a book on any topic, if you wrote a book on real estate, a book on Bitcoin, a book on cryptocurrency, a book on Reiki, a book on Pilates, a book on stretching, a book on running a marathon, a book on, I don't know, anything, a book on being a butcher, a book on flying an airplane, whatever your shtick is, whatever you know about, if you write a book on that, that will brand you, that will set you apart from everyone else. Having a book means you can indeed aim higher. Money will come to you. Opportunities of all kinds will come to you. Income, media appearances, patience, clients, joy will come to you when you are branded by writing a book. And now what I've done is I've divided this presentation into 3 parts. The first part is how lousy my life was. And then the second part is the one thing that I changed. And then the third part is how wonderful my life is now. How lousy my life was, the one thing I changed, and how wonderful my life is now. Take great notes, because I don't want you to wake up tomorrow morning and say, how do you get rich again? This is your chance right now. When I was born, I was broke. Maybe some of you have had that same experience. And then I took a job I didn't particularly like. And so I took it out on a substance. And my substance of abuse was food. I got very, very fat. And eventually my boss realized I wasn't doing a good job at my job. And so he fired me. When I went home and told my wife that I was fired, she did the only thing a reasonable woman could do. She dumped me out of our marriage. And I learned something. I learned that getting fired and divorced on exactly the same day are just extreme forms of market research. And what the marketplace was telling me is I was doing everything wrong. Vocationally, fired. Nutritionally, fat. Matrimonially, dumped. And I haven't even told you the bad news yet. Psychologically, I was depressed. I was a 39-year-old life loser, $100,000 in debt. A 39-year-old life loser, $100,000 in debt. That was my life before I made the one decision, before I made one change, one single change. And what was that change? The turning point of my life? Somebody suggested that I write a book. I said, write a book? I'm broke. Why would I write a book? Why would anyone read my book if I'm broke? And they said, write down the names of every rich person you know. I said, well, I don't know any rich people. They said, yes, but just write down the names of people that you've heard of, like Sir Richard Branson, Warren Buffett, just people you've heard of. So I wrote them down. And then they said, now, which ones have written a book? And I looked down the list. It was book, all of them. And then he said, write down a list of your neighbors, friends, family members. And I did. And they said, now tick off which ones have written a book. No book, 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 no book. I said, oh my gosh, book, rich, no book, broke. Oh my gosh. And so I decided to write a book. But what should I write a book on? I was broke. I figured maybe I'll write this book. How to Become a 39-year-old Life Loser, 7 Proven Techniques. I knew I could write that book, but it's not the brand I was going for. But I did become very rich in real estate. I just lost it all in the divorce, but I still know how to do it. So I wrote this book, You Can Make $1 Million in Canadian Real Estate. And I am a Canadian. Don't hold that against me. I'm a nice guy. And I wrote this book. When I showed it to my mother, she said, why do you have a broken picket fence across the bottom? I said, Ma, those are houses. I drew them myself. She says, you could have drawn better houses when you were 4. Anyways, the next 10 seconds is the most important 10 seconds of your life. In the next 10 seconds, I am going to reveal exactly what happened to me as a result of writing this book. If you're going to go for a drink, don't do it now. If you're going to go make a sandwich, don't do it now. If you're going to take notes, don't do it now. Just pay strict attention. Put your eyes right on the screen and stare at the screen for 10 seconds. This is the only thing that you'll remember if we bump into each other in the street 20 years from now. Here goes. From age 39 to age 40, in 1 year period, I got out of $100,000 of debt. It was the first time that I've ever been out of debt in my entire adult life. And then in 1 more year, from age 40 to age 41, I became a millionaire and I've never looked back. Wow, wow, wow. If you are wowed by that amazing progress, and if you would like that progress to happen to you, if you'd like to get completely out of debt in a year and become a millionaire in another year, type wow with 2 exclamation marks into the chat right now. Click on chat at the bottom of your screen and then type in wow with 2 exclamation marks. Oh, here they come. Here they come. Wow, they're pouring it. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Wow with 2 exclamation marks. Very, very, very nice. Brilliant. Well done. Thank you. Thanks for communicating with me and playing with me. And here's some good news. Here's some really, really good news. My clients are getting there faster than me. Faster than me. Why? Because I'm a way better coach and teacher than that guy was all those years ago who helped me. So come into my life now. I told you how lousy my life was. I told you the one thing that I changed. The one thing that I changed. And what was it? Writing a book. Now let's see what happened to me. My best friend is Jack Canfield. We go on vacation together twice a year. There I am on a cruise ship with Jack Canfield. And I think you can see me in the corner of this picture. I'm not exactly sure. Les Brown, one of my dear friends, one of the greatest speakers that ever lived. And this is a funny one. I was getting my picture with Stedman Graham, Oprah's boyfriend. And I was so embarrassed. He's 2 heads taller than me. I said, don't move, Stedman. And I ran around the hotel to find a step ladder so that I could equalize my height. And we did take another picture, but it didn't work. He's still a head taller than me. Oh my gosh. Bob Proctor, the grandfather of the entire personal growth industry, Sir Richard Branson himself, Brian Tracy, Brian Mulroney, the Prime Minister of Canada. Have you noticed? Have you noticed that every single time I introduce you to a friend of mine, books drop down? Have you noticed that every single time I introduce you to a friend of mine, books drop down? On the other hand, when you go visit a friend of yours, books don't drop down. When you go visit a friend of yours, books don't drop down. You think it's okay to not write a book because none of your friends have ever written a book. But I'll tell you what, every single one of my friends has written a book, and many books. So if they find out that you haven't written a book, they'll never become your friend, because if you haven't written a book, they think you have nothing to say. And if you have nothing to say, why should they listen? Why should they listen? Wow. Steve Wozniak, the only living co-founder of Apple Computers, Dr. John Gray, Bill Clinton himself, Arnold Schwarzenegger, and Robert Kiyosaki, the greatest wealth teacher of all time. But best of all, wait for it, Shrek. Even Shrek has a book. Even Shrek has a book. Don't tell me you can't write a book if Shrek can write a book. It's not what you know. It's not who you know. It's who knows you. It's who knows you. And the most famous people in the world know me. Did they know me when I was 39? No. Did they want to know me when I was 39? No. Do they know me now? Yes. Do they want to know me now? Yes. Why? What's the only difference? I wrote a book is the only difference. But if you want to write a book, you have to solve 4 problems. Please take notes on this. Please take notes on this. You need to solve 4 problems. The first is the forward scandal. The forward is a 1-page letter at the beginning of a book telling the audience how wonderful you are. The problem is it has to be written by a world famous celebrity, and celebrities these days know if they write the forward for your book, you're going to make a lot of money. So they want some of that money, and they charge $25,000, $50,000, even up to $500,000 to write the forward for your book. So here's 3 rules. You better keep them in mind. Listen carefully. You must have a forward. It must be written by a world famous celebrity. And number 3, you cannot pay extra for it. You must have a forward. It must be written by a world famous celebrity. And 3, you cannot pay extra for it. Number 2 problem is the publishing problem. You'll spend years and years writing your book, and when it's finally finished, you'll make 100 copies, send it to 100 publishing companies, and then you'll get 100 rejection letters. That's not a good deal. Here's my deal. Don't you dare start writing your book until you already have a commitment from a publisher. Don't you dare even start writing your book until you have a commitment from your publisher. You might say, Raymond, that's impossible. If it's so difficult to get a publisher, if you have a manuscript, how on earth can you get a publisher without even starting to write your book? Listen carefully. Listen carefully. I'm going to reveal to you in this presentation today how to get a commitment from a publisher before you start writing your book. Write that down. I will tell you today how to get a commitment from a publisher who agrees to publish your book no matter what before you even start writing it. I will tell you exactly how to do that. Problem number 3 is the official book launch. What is an official book launch? Well, it's like a huge room with lots of people, costs tens of thousands of dollars. It's very expensive, and the author has to pay for it, but you have to do it. The author has to pay for it, and you have to do it. If it was a movie, it would be a world premiere. But if it's a book, it's called an official book launch. And I wrote a New York Times top 10 best-selling book, and I didn't get a book launch for it. I want you to not suffer that. I want you to have an official book launch. And if you don't, that's a serious problem, because then your book whimpers out instead of splashing out. And problem number 4 is you must end procrastination. End procrastination. Silly people say things like, I've had a book inside me for 20 years. That's bullshit. Sorry if that's baloney. because all they're doing is saying they're a procrastinator. I don't recommend that. Here's my rule. I have a personal book architect. I have a personal book architect. And when I want to start writing a book, I don't start typing. I call up my personal book architect, and she says to me, that book will come out on time, no matter what. And then I feel wonderful. I've written 147 books, and every single one of them came out on time. Every single one of them came out on time because of my personal book architect. Wow. Oh, and because I promised you 4 problems, I'm going to give you a bonus 5th problem because I always want to over deliver. Never join any program unless the guru himself is willing to personally teach you in a follow-up workshop. Never join any program unless the guru himself is willing to personally teach you in a follow-up workshop. So how do you know when you're branded? Let's get down to tax. How do you know? The answer is when someone says wow about you, you're branded. When someone says wow about you, you're branded. Tesla doesn't sell many cars, but so many people say wow about Tesla cars that the company, Tesla Incorporated, is now worth more than all other car manufacturers combined, even though it sells very few cars and has hardly ever made a profit. Apple is now the wealthiest company that ever existed. Just a few months ago, they passed the 1 trillion mark, and now they're at the 2 trillion mark. Unbelievable. Why? Because so many people say wow about Apple products. When you get people to say wow about you, you're branded, your net worth goes up, and your income skyrockets, as Bianca found out.
My name is Bianca Montian, and I'm the author of the book called Let's F the System, 5 Ways to Have All the Fun and Freedom You Want. And ever since I started writing this book, only amazing stuff happened to me. And plus, everybody that meets me and finds out that I'm an author, they all say wow. And I think that's kind of the only thing we actually aim for in life, to be amazing. And because I said amazing, I wanted to tell you that Raymond is amazing.
Well, thank you, Bianca. You'll notice that she's from Romania. Many of my best authors do not have English as their native language, and they still write a book. I know what the rules are, so stay tuned. Every wealthy person and every successful company is branded. Do you want to get branded? I'm sure you do. How many ways are there to get branded? There are 4 ways to get branded. And I'm going to teach you all 4 ways, but you only need to select one. You don't select all 4, that doesn't make sense. You only need to be branded. Once you're branded, you're branded. Once you're branded, you're branded. And so I'm going to teach you all 4 ways. You only choose one. Here we go. Branding technique number 4 is branding by association. Branding by association. I showed you pictures of me with hundreds of the most famous people in the entire world, but you probably don't have world famous author friends. And so this doesn't apply to you. That's okay. There's still 3 to go. Branding technique number 3 is branding by testimonial. Now you probably just lit up and say, oh yes, I have lots of testimonials. I have lots of testimonials, but I don't think so. Because I have a really strict rule. Testimonials cannot be from a client. You might say, what? Of course they're from clients. That's what they're for. No. Let's say you're trying to sell me something and I'm interested, but I'm not exactly sure. And you say, look at this testimonial saying that I'm wonderful. And I say, well, who wrote it? And you say, I don't know, Mary McGregor. And I say, who's Mary McGregor? You see, it falls flat if I don't know who the person is. It has to be from a world famous celebrity. You might say, okay, big shot, do you have a world famous celebrity giving you a testimonial? Well, let's see. Have you ever heard of Robert Kiyosaki? Have you ever heard of the world famous Robert Kiyosaki, author of Rich Dad, Poor Dad? Actually, I like his second book better, Cash Flow Quadrant. I like his second book better, Cash Flow Quadrant. Here's what the world famous Robert Kiyosaki says about me. I thank Raymond Aaron and his tapes on goal setting for helping me achieve more with less stress. Wow, a guy of that giant magnitude saying a sentence of that giant magnitude, that is a big deal. But you might be skeptical and say, how do we know he said that? Because he wrote it on page 187 of the very first edition of his second book. I happen to have a copy of it here. I thank Raymond Aaron and his tape on goal setting for assisting me in achieving more with a lot less stress. Wow, wow, wow. As a result of that one sentence, I made an extra $8 million over the last 7 years. Wow, wow, wow. But you may not have great testimonials from world famous celebrities. That's okay. You've blown half of them. There's still 2 to go. Branding technique number 2 is branding by achievement. Branding by achievement. Oh, so were you recently the mayor of your town or the premier of your province or the governor of your state? Were you recently the president of your country or the prime minister of your country? Did you recently win an Olympic medal or a Nobel Prize or a world record? Or no, you didn't win any of those? Well, let's see if I have any achievements. This is for fun. I want to tell you about my athletic achievement. This athletic exercise is called the plank. It's extremely difficult. Most people just drop to the floor panting after about 30 or 45 seconds. And at my age, I did the plank, wait for it, for 11 minutes. I did an 11-minute plank. And I've had lots of other athletic achievements, but I have achievements in other arenas as well. For example, I've been in the famous Who's Who for 38 years in a row. And in every one of those consecutive 38 years, I've been on the very first page, but that's mostly for alphabetical reasons. And I'm internationally syndicated on radio talk shows around the world. And you can be on radio and television too, but only if you've written a book. Nobody wants you if you haven't written a book. Nobody wants to interview you on their podcast or on their blog if you haven't written a book. Yeah, you can get onto minor ones that go out to 11 people. But if you want to go out to 100,000 or 500,000 people, you must have written a book. And I'm sure you've heard of the world famous movie, The Secret. There were 40 teachers filmed for that movie, and I was one of them. Wow, wow, wow. By the way, every single one of those 40 teachers had previously written a book. Are you getting the message? If you've written a book, you're branded. If you haven't written a book, you're drowning in the sea of sameness. And also, I bought and sold over 1,100 properties. That's over $500 million in today's money of buying and selling. Wow, wow, wow. But you may not have great achievements. Well, there's only one left. There's only one left, and it better apply to you because that's all you got. And here it is, branding technique number 1, branding by wow. And what is the easiest way to have people say wow about you? Tell them that you wrote a book. When you say that you've written a book, they will look at you in awe and they will say, wow, every single time. It took me 4 years to write Chicken Soup for the Parent Soul. It hit New York Times top 10. Was it worth it? Well, I get a royalty check every quarter. That means every 3 months. And what was my very, very, very first royalty check? $100,000 was my first royalty check, my first quarterly royalty check. And because I did so well, Jack Canfield asked me to write a second Chicken Soup book, Chicken Soup for the Canadian Soul. And it became the #1 best-selling nonfiction book in Canada every week for 6 months after its release. And I get a quarterly royalty check from that book as well. What was my very, very first quarterly royalty check? $100,000. Can you make money writing a book? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. And my newest blockbuster is Branding Small Business for Dummies, which I will not allow to be sold in any bookstore in the world or on Amazon because there's too much wisdom in that book. There's way, way too much wisdom in that book for me to part with it for just $20. I don't care if I sell 1 million copies, $20 million. It's not worth it to me. I will not sell it. It's not for sale anywhere. You can go to Amazon, you could try your luck. It is not there, but I will give it as a gift when you attend this presentation. So I've decided to give it as a gift to people that are nice to me, and you're nice to me by attending this presentation. So at the end of the presentation, I will give you a link for an instant download of Branding Small Business for Dummies. So stay tuned. And how long did it take me to write this book? Well, I looked at all the activities that I did to write books in the past and how many pages each of those activities produced. And I noticed that the bottom 98 activities didn't produce any pages, and the top 2 activities produced all the pages of the book. So I decided, clever me, I'm going to do just the top 2 activities. And that shortened the length of time it took to write that book. A little bit or a lot. Let's just see. Let's just see. When the fireworks die down, you're going to scream wow when you find out that it took me 10 hours to write Branding Small Business for Dummies. 10 hours. Wow, wow, wow. I wrote a book. I got rich. You want rich? You need a book, but not in 1 to 4 years. The giant breakthrough is I can teach you how to write a book in only 10 hours. Would you like to write a book in only 10 hours? By the way, if you're skeptical that you think I'm exaggerating, I'm not. But if you think I'm exaggerating, take 20 hours. It's not a race. It's not a race at all, as Lisa found out.
Hi, everybody. I'm Lisa Phillips, author of the book, The Artistic Edge, and I just wanted to share some amazing things that happened to me since my book was published. Within the first 3 months, I was published in the Washington Post 3 times, and I was able to get a keynote speaking gig in the US at the Tennessee Arts Commission, where my speaking fee was $5,000. I've had so many more incredible things happen, from blog posts, conferences, articles, and also having my book being used as a teaching tool for school boards all across the US. So thank you so much, Raymond, for encouraging me to write my book.
Wow. Thank you, Lisa. You have a book inside of you. It's time to get it out. It's time to make lots of money with a book, as Jim found out.
Hi, my name is Jim Hetherington, and I wrote this book, Your Relationship Rescue Handbook, in the 10-10-10 program. And Raymond said that it was going to change my life, and it really has. Ever since I've written this book, I've been invited to co-author in other books. One is actually published already. I have my second book coming out in the spring. I've been invited to speak on stages. I've been invited to do radio shows and TV shows. I've been invited to go to training events where I teach, and I'm on main stage and training and encouraging other people. It just really has changed my life. I highly encourage you to get involved in the 10-10-10 program. Write a book. Raymond's team is just amazing. Raymond himself is a great mentor, great teacher, has amazing systems that will really help you get this thing through, get it done, get it published, and get out of the sea of sameness.
Thank you, Jim. Thank you, thank you, thank you. But here are your excuses. I don't have the time. Well, according to Wikipedia, the average person in the Western world watches 11 hours of television a week. That means you could write 52 books this year and still watch your favorite TV show. But I'm bad at English. Don't worry about it. Maybe you're bad at spelling, punctuation, grammar, or maybe English isn't your first language, but don't worry. Nobody sees your book when it's finished except your editor, and your editor makes it look like an angel wrote your book. So let me tell you about editing and also formatting. You need editing and formatting, even though it's not included in my program, because the cost is small, and most importantly, because I teach you how you can get it for free. So if you can get it for free, don't worry about it. Next excuse, I've never written anything before. Listen carefully. Most people haven't written a book. 94% of everyone who's ever registered for my program over the last 10 years, it's their very first book. They've never written anything before. And so I've designed my program for people who've never written a book at all. This is perfectly designed for you. But I don't know what to write about. Well, I personally work with you, my mouth to your ears and your mouth to my ears. I personally work with you to make sure that you have the perfect title, the perfect subtitle, the perfect topic, the perfect target audience, to make sure it's not just a great book, but it's a great book that will make you a lot of money. A great book that will make you a lot of money. So don't worry if you don't know exactly what to write about. I will work with you. I will make sure you have a great book. But I'm just an employee. Then get ready for raises, promotions, and job offers from other companies. Why me? Because you're the only one in the company that will have written a book. No one else in the company has written a book. but I'm a professional and we're not allowed to advertise. You know what? The book does the advertising for you completely legally, as Ursula found out.
Hey, this is Ursula. Almost immediately after I announced that I was the author of an upcoming book, I started to get invitations to do podcasts and speaking engagements. And of course, I got new clients walking through my door. I love Raymond's 10-10-10 program. Raymond is amazing.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, Ursula. But I don't know much. Well, the truth is, you know much more than your readers. For example, I wrote a book, Double Your Income Doing What You Love, and Sir Richard Branson didn't buy it, and Sir Richard Branson didn't read it. Why? Because he knows more about branding than me. He knows more than I do. So what? The hundreds of thousands of people who know less than me are the ones who bought, read, and enjoyed and learned from my book. What kind of book should I write? You could write a nonfiction book about what you want to make money at, and the book will help you make money at it. Or you could write a fictional story, or you could write an autobiography of yourself, or you could write a biography of somebody else, or you could write a book of your poetry. You could write a children's book, you'd write a calendar. There's all kinds of books that I published, and you can do whatever book makes your heart sing. My friends will laugh at me. No, they won't. They'll be dazzled, and you know it. How much does it cost? Well, it costs as much as a small car, but if you can't afford it, you'd better join. If you've been working for 5, 10, 20, 30 years, and you don't have a few $1,000s to rub together, you better do something different. And this is the most powerful something different you're ever going to be offered. Oh, and by the way, I'm not offering this to you now, but I'm proud of it. It's a 6 audio program called the Ultimate Author's Marketing Guide. And what do these 6 audios teach you? They teach you how to dramatically increase the sales of your book. But most important, they teach you how the book can sell you. So it'll help you sell the book, but it'll help the book sell you so that you can make money with your own profession, with your own services or your own products, your own store, whatever it is that you sell or could sell, because I teach you how to create products from your book as well. I charge $3,000 for this. And if you're lucky enough to get into my 10-10-10 program, then typically a month or 2 after you get in, you'll want to upgrade and purchase the Ultimate Author's Marketing Guide. Everybody does. So if you get in, just set aside another $3,000 in order to get the Ultimate Author's Marketing Guide, the 6 audio program, to help you increase sales of your book and increase sales of your own products or services. So how will a book help you? I know how it'll help you because I know how it's helped all of my clients for 10 years, and I know how it's helped me. You'll have lots of residual income and you'll have lots of free time. Because of my books, I take a 1-week vacation every month, a 1-week vacation every month. Are you serious? When I first heard that, I said, no, it can't be. My friends would laugh at me. They would be embarrassed for me. My staff would be upset. My clients would leave. I can't do it. But because of my books, I'm able to do it. I have 10 slides like this, but when I show them all, people start drooling, so I won't do that to you. But even more shocking, wait till you hear this. I also take a 1-month vacation every year. I slept on that beach in Fiji for 1 month. I went whitewater canoeing in the high Arctic of Canada for 1 month. I went to the rainforest in Ecuador for 1 month. I had a 1-month honeymoon in the North and South Islands of New Zealand. I trekked around the Annapurna Mountains of Nepal for 1 month. I had a 1-month safari in South Africa. I did a double crossing of the Sahara Desert by Jeep and camel. And I did a 4-month vacation throughout all of Europe, from Israel, which was never in Europe, to England, which is no longer in Europe, but I still somehow call it my 4-month European vacation. And I spent a month in Australia, a month in Bali, a month in Croatia, but my absolute best 1-month vacation of all time was Antarctica. What a blessed continent that is. And there I took the greatest picture I ever took in my life. Do you want to see it? Good, because I brought it. Yes, I brought my tuxedo to Antarctica. Behind my head is not gravel. Behind my head is 150,000 king penguins. I'm the one on the left. So is my life the life that you want? I have no debt. I have very high income. I have very high wealth. I have the sweetest marriage that any man could ever be blessed with. My wife is an extremely high income coach and sales manager and CEO. She's a competitive dancer, a model, and an actress, and she loves me. And besides having the sexiest wife on the planet, I drive the sexiest car on the planet, a bright red Tesla S. Actually, I don't drive it. It drives me. It's automatic driving. It's like an amusement park ride. It's the most exciting car in the whole world. And I have a gorgeous new home in the country. I just bought a 3-story log cabin with 3 fireplaces, an indoor sauna, an outdoor hot tub, overlooking our river. We have a river right on our property, a screened-in porch. Oh my gosh, it's such a blessing. I have high residual income and I have lots of time off to do exactly what I want. Is that the life that I have now? Yes. Is that the life that I had at age 39? No. What happened? I wrote a book. If you don't have the life that you want, you need to get out of the sea of sameness. My program is called 10-10-10. You'll write a book of 10 chapters of your own words, and I will help you with the words. In 10 hours of your own time, take 20, it's not a race. But the most important is you'll be holding your finished, physical, published, your finished, physical, published book in your hand in only 10 weeks. Wow, wow, wow. Now, there are 2 levels to my program, the lower level and the upper level. And the reason there's 2 levels is you choose the one that suits your pocketbook the best. And so you get more benefits at the higher level and you get fewer benefits at the lower level. So you choose the one that's most appropriate for you. The lower level is called platinum. The lower level is called platinum. And at platinum, there are 5 guarantees, absolute guarantees. That's what's important to know about my program. I don't tell you what you get in the program. I tell you the guarantees in the program because I've been delivering on these guarantees for 10 years now to thousands of wonderful, excited authors. And the first guarantee is on the topic of I don't know what to write about. So guarantee number 1, as I told you before, I will personally work with you, my mouth to your ears. I will personally work with you, your mouth to my ears, to make sure you have the perfect topic, the perfect target audience, the perfect title, and the perfect subtitle. That's a huge wow, me personally. The second one is really interesting. You see, if your book is too thick, people will say, oh, no, thanks, I don't have the time. And if your book is too thin, people will say, oh, it's just a marketing brochure. You won't get branded. There's no point. Don't bother getting out your keyboard and start typing. There's no point. Because if your book isn't psychographically the exact width of spine, the exact number of pages, it won't brand you. It won't work. There's no point whatsoever. And I guarantee to give you that length in the program. Guarantee number 3 is on the topic of what's the deadline to get the book done. Well, you know the deadline is 10 weeks. I already told you that. But no, I will give you 1 entire year, 5 times longer than you need, just to make sure that your book gets done. You might say, make sure my book gets done. I've been wanting to write a book for 20 years. What's 1 year? Well, you've been writing it on your own, or I should say more correctly, you've been not writing it on your own. When you're under my professional guidance, your book will get done in 10 weeks, way less than 1 year. And guarantee number 4 has to do with when do I start making money? And this is the most blessed one. This is the most blessed one. And here it is. You'll get excited. Guarantee number 4 is you make money before you finish writing your book. You will make money before you finish writing your book. You might say, how is that possible? But I've been doing it for 10 years and I'll teach you how. I'm not guaranteeing this extra part. Most people make money before you even start writing your book. Not guaranteeing that you'll make money before you start, but I am guaranteeing that you'll make money before you finish writing your book. That's a huge wow. Oh, Raymond, you don't understand me. My problems are so heavy. Well, the reason your problems are so heavy is because you're not branded. and you're struggling for every buck and yen and euro and franc and pound sterling and rand that you ever earn. You're struggling and struggling because you're not branded. When you're branded, money comes pouring at you. Money comes pouring at you. You can make lots of money with the book. Follow me. I'll take you places you could never believe that you could go. And guarantee number 5 is a really exciting one. It's the last one for the lower level platinum program, and it's on the topic of the forward. Do you remember? I told you 3 things about the forward. You must have a forward. It must be written by a world famous celebrity. And number 3, you can't pay extra for it. And here it is. Guarantee number 5, I will write the forward for your book. I will write the forward for your book. And here's what it looks like. Here's a book that I published called The Unique You. And if you look at the bottom of it, underneath the author's name, it says forward by Raymond Aaron, New York Times bestselling author. Now, if someone knows me, they'll say, wow, how'd you get Raymond Aaron? But even if they've never heard of me, it still works because they'll say, wow, how did you get a New York Times bestselling author to do the forward for your book? That distinguishes you. That brands you. That's very, very exciting. And let me tell you something really special. You can get there faster than me. You can get there way faster than me. How do I know that? Because it took me a year to get out of debt and a year to become a millionaire with no strong support. I had no one coaching me. The person who was helping me had no backup. He had no staff. He had no program. He was just commenting. And I've got a program and a staff that is diligently oriented to make sure your book comes out and that it's a great book, and it's a great book that makes you money. Wow. And you can earn your annual income in one speech, but only if you've written a book. Nobody wants you if you haven't written a book. Nobody. You'll never get onto big stages. You'll never get interviewed on a huge podcast. Never. It won't happen to you. No one gets on my stage unless they've written a book, as you'll learn from Raisa.
Hi, my name is Raisa, and I'm the award-winning author of the book, Make My World a Better Place, How to Live in Peace and Harmony with Others. Do you have any goals, dreams, ideas, opinions that you want to share with the world? Then you need to write a book. For me, this wasn't possible without the 10-10-10 program hosted by Raymond Aaron. It's fast, easy, simple to use, and you actually get things done. With this book, I was able to gain my first speaking opportunity with the world famous Bob Proctor. And then I'm going to have the same opportunity to speak with the world famous Jack Canfield, all because I wrote a book. Raymond, he is amazing. And without his program, I wouldn't be able to do so many things. The age of 16. That's right. I'm 16. Thank you.
Wow. Thank you, Raisa. But here is the hugest. Here is the very, very hugest. In addition to the platinum level, the lower level, there is a higher level called Platinum Plus. There's a higher level called Platinum Plus. And at Platinum Plus, one of the first things that happens is you inherit all 5 of the guarantees of the lower level, plus you get an astounding 5 more that are even more powerful. Wait till you hear the additional 5 guarantees of Platinum Plus. You will end procrastination forever. How do I guarantee that? Because you can have my own personal book architect. Now, I know you're not jumping for joy because you don't really know what the heck a personal book architect is, but let me explain. You see, I've been telling people for years and years that you'll be holding your finished, published physical book in your hand in only 10 weeks. But this gentleman, Chinmay Swami, wrote Run Before You Walk in only 6 weeks. And so then the race was on. Somebody did it in 4.25 weeks, and someone did it in 3.5 weeks, until finally this teenage girl at age 15 wrote her book in 4 days. She got the whole thing done. It was printed, shipped to her home. She opened the box. She took the first book out, took a selfie, and texted it to me in 4 days. So can it be done? Absolutely, it can be done. What if my book isn't published? Well, that's a big problem. What is my guarantee on that one? Guarantee number 7 is Raymond publishes your book. Raymond publishes your book. And I am the best publisher in the world. My imprint is 10-10-10 Publishing. And why am I the best publisher in the world? Because all the other major publishers give you a 6% royalty. A 6% royalty. That means they keep 94% of the sales of your book. I don't think that's a good idea. I've been published by lots of big publishing companies, and I'm very unhappy with it. They got all the money. I got almost nothing. And so with 10-10-10 Publishing, wait till you hear it. You don't get 6%, you get 100%. Every penny that comes from any physical bookstore in the world, every penny that comes from Amazon, every penny that comes from sales from your blog or your podcast or being on stage or being interviewed on radio or television or any of that, all of that money, 100% goes to you. I, as the publisher, get nothing. You might say, Raymond, how can you do that? How can you make any money? And first of all, thank you for being concerned about my financial well-being. I'm going to do very, very well this year, so don't worry about me. But I want you to make all the profits. And so I've constituted my 10-10-10 Publishing Company as a non-profit entity within my empire. And that means I can't make money even if I want to, and I don't want to. I want you to make all the money. That's a gigantic wow. And guarantee number 8 has to do with what will Raymond do if I write other books? You might say, write other books. I don't even know if I can write one book, but listen carefully. 1/3 of my already published authors have already published their second book. Why? Because they made so much money in 10 hours, they figured they'll invest another 10 hours, write another book and make even more money. Yeah, so wait till you hear guarantee number 8. I will publish every book you ever write or any book you may have already written. I will publish any book in the future. That means anytime you get the idea to write a book, you know for sure that you've got a publisher. Wow. Guarantee number 9 has to do with how will I sell my book? This is exciting. This is really exciting. I will list your book on Amazon, and I can list your book better than you can. First of all, you probably never listed a book on Amazon, so you don't know the little tricks of the trade. You have to go into the front door as an author, but I can go into the back door as a publisher and do it in a way where there's no inventory for you whatsoever, and you'll be listed higher up in the rankings. We know exactly how to do it. And finally, the final 5th guarantee of the Platinum Plus, with a 5th extra guarantee, so it's the 10th guarantee, is a really, really important one. Wait till you hear this. You're going to jump up and down in your seat when you hear about this. Here it comes. How will I promote my book? And here it is. Get ready. Guarantee number 10. I will host and pay for your official book launch. I, as the publisher, even though it's the author's job, I will host and pay for your official book launch. If the lockdown is over, I'll bring you up on stage. If the lockdown is not over, then I'll bring you up on Zoom, and I will introduce you to the whole audience, and I will give you the questions in advance so you answer them wonderfully, and I'll get everyone excited about your book, and I'll tell them all to purchase your book, and you'll make a lot of money, and I will pay all the expenses. You'll make a lot of money, and I will pay all the expenses, and you'll have the delight and the branding of having had an official book launch. Wow, wow, wow. But here is the very hugest. There is no risk to you whatsoever. I've thought of every risk that you might have, and I've taken it away from you. You have no risk whatsoever. No risk at all. And that's why when people see the link, they just grab it, because there's no risk to you whatsoever. I've taken all the risks away by giving you a 10-point guarantee. Wow, wow, wow. Now, how do you get my wisdom? Well, one way you get my wisdom is by the 19 home study videos. They're about 15 minutes long, and they're each on a separate individual topic. And you play the video and you do what it says. And then you play the next video and you do what it says. And then you play the next video and do what it says. And listen carefully, get ready to melt in joy. Once you played the final 19th video, you're holding your book in your hand. Once you played the final video, you're holding your book in your hand. So as soon as you register, we unlock those 19 videos and you can play them as often as you wish for the rest of your life. At home, no need to go anywhere or leave your home. You can just play the videos at home. But in addition to that, some people like the camaraderie of going to a boot camp. And so I've created the Get Your Book Done boot camp, in which I teach you exactly how to write a book. And you might say, well, what's the difference? And the answer is there's not much difference. You can play the 19 videos at your home and write your book. And many people do. Or you can go to the Get Your Book Done boot camp, which I personally lead, and you can get your book done that way. Or you can play the videos at home and also come to the boot camp. You can do one, you can do the other, or you can do both. But that's not all. I also give you your own private coach. I also give you your own private coach. And as you know, the private coach is called your personal book architect. So you could get the videos and play them and then call your coach to ask questions. Or you can go to the Get Your Book Done workshop and then call your private coach, or actually I'll be right there. You could just ask me questions, or you could do all three. There's some people who just play the videos. There's some people who just go to the workshop. It's up to you. It's up to you. You get my wisdom 3 separate ways. And the Get Your Book Done bootcamp I usually hold in Hawaii, because if I'm going to give a course, it might as well be in Hawaii. And this is the most important message. Listen very, very carefully. If you are with a bunch of kids at noon and you say to them, where do you want to go for lunch, kids? They'll say, McDonald's, McDonald's. Why? Why? The McDonald's burger is really average. It's a dead bun. It's a dry patty. There's no juice dripping off it. And you don't get to decide what you want inside. You don't get to say, I want extra mayonnaise and no mustard. You don't get to say that. They give you whatever they want to give you. And so it's not a very good burger at all. And yet it outsells all other burgers in the world. Why? Because of the marketing, because of the marketing, because of the humor of the Ronald McDonald clown, because of the joy of the Ronald McDonald houses where families can stay to help take care of their kids in the hospital, because of the commercials on Saturday morning kids TV shows, because of the marketing. People have such a love of McDonald's that they eat more McDonald's burgers than any other burgers in the entire world. So what? Why did I tell you about that? Because if you write a book, no one's going to buy it unless there's secret subliminal messages. I know you think that your book's going to be so wonderful it'll sell 1 million copies, but I want to tell you the honest truth. All my friends, Robert Kiyosaki, Tony Robbins, Jack Canfield, and Dr. John Gray, all of them, when they want their book to shoot up to the top, it doesn't just shoot up to the top because it's well written, and it doesn't shoot up to the top because they're famous. They, as the author and the publisher, invest hundreds of thousands of dollars to get the book up the rankings. If you want your book to shoot up to the top, you have to pay hundreds of thousands of dollars in marketing in order to get your book up. It's not just going to go up because it's a good book. And that's why you have to have secret subliminal marketing messages on the cover and in the front of the book. And if you do have all 31 secret subliminal marketing messages on the cover, front and back and spine, and also at the beginning of your book, then the book will sell well. But don't you dare just type, and then think, and then publish your book and think someone's going to buy it. I don't want to pour cold water on you, but it's not going to happen unless either you spend a lot of money on marketing, hundreds of thousands of dollars truly, or have 31 secret subliminal marketing messages in and on your book. Wow. You might say, oh, to heck with that. I'll just write my own book anyways. Don't you dare, because your book won't come out the way you want. Your book just won't come out the way that you want. But if you're still sitting there wondering, here is the best news of all. It's time for a change. It's time to let the book do the marketing for you. And it's also time for a giant discount. I've told you it's a small car, but let me be specific. It's $28,000, 28,000 US dollars. US dollars is the currency of the internet. 28, and you might say, gee, that's a lot of money. Well, not if your income is going to go up by $50,000 to $100,000 a year. That's a pretty small price to pay. You'll be able to escape the sea of sameness. You'll be able to climb up onto the island of individuality so that you can float effortlessly for the rest of your life down the river of relevant differentiation. You are unique and special, pretending that you're ordinary. You are unique and special, earning as if you're ordinary. You need to stop that by being branded, by writing a book. And now I'm going to give you an 11th bonus guarantee at the Platinum Plus level. It's not just 10 guarantees at Platinum Plus, there's actually 11. And what is the 11th one? At your official book launch, which you already get at the Platinum Plus level, I will make you an award-winning author. How? By giving you an award. And here's what it looks like. Let me blow it up so you can see it more easily. Yeah, there you go. You get your own title for the award and your name and the date, and it's in beautiful crystal, and it's a brushed steel base. It's very heavy. It's very, very beautiful, and it also will brand you. You're not just an author, you're an award-winning author with a foreword written by a New York Times top 10 best-selling author. It just, you will be the hero. You will be branded. And I'll show you what it looks like. At the bottom of this book, right underneath the author's name, it says award-winning author, right on the cover of your book. Imagine being an award-winning author. Wow. And now for the final discount. But why? Why am I giving you an additional discount? And the answer is, it's my birthday. I'm 76. It's not exactly today, but it's around today. It's close enough to today to be my birthday. But one thing I'm not too happy about is I notice on your lap, you have no gift that you're about to give me, but there has to be a gift giving on a birthday. And so if you're not going to give a gift to me, I'd better give a gift to you. And I'm going to. And what is the gift? It's thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars of discount. Yes, I'm going to give you a gigantic discount. But first, let's hear from Emma.
2 years ago, when I was 15, I published my first book, #Success, How Teens Can Create Their Own Brilliant Future. And immediately after my book was published, I started getting wild results. I went to a new school and my book was already in the school library on display right when you walk in. People had ordered my book and were reading it and were coming up to me when I didn't even know them and saying like I had inspired them and they were so proud of me. And I was invited to all sorts of school activities right when I was a new student because my brand was so high already from the book that I had written. And the whole process was super easy and it was super quick. And the program really, really works and it gets amazing results.
Wow, wow, wow. And Nathan is another amazing testimonial. Listen to this. In Canada, cold country, homeowners pay $850 for the whole winter season to have snow removed from their driveway and their walkway. $850. Nathan charges $1,200 and people run to pay him $1,200 when they could get anyone to do it for $850. Why? Because he wrote a book. You might say, who cares if he wrote a book? I just want my snow removed. No, his book is entitled, I Don't Just Clean Your Driveway, I Clean Up the Entire Industry. Subtitle, Don't Hire a Snow Remover Until You Read This Book. Wow. As soon as that book was released, his sales skyrocketed and he's able to charge 50% more than anyone else, 50% more than anyone else. And he does no selling. They run to him. Wow.
Hey Raymond, I got some exciting news for you. Right now, I'm enrolling clients at a price that's higher than my competition. You heard it, higher, and it's all because of your lessons on branding. I mean, just the other day, I enrolled one client at $1,100. My competition last year charged him $850, and this guy came running to me and enthusiastically signed up for $1,100. I mean, and just today, one guy, I just enrolled a new client for $1,200, and it's Raymond, you are amazing. That's all I can say, and just. What Raymond says really works. I can't believe it. It's unbelievable.
Wow. Thank you, Nathan. Now, remember I told you that I like holding the Get Your Book Done boot camp in Hawaii? Well, we all know there's a lockdown going on now. And so I'm not holding in Hawaii. I'm holding it by Zoom in July. Oops, July is already passed. But there's something important about July. July and June and May and all the way back to January and all the way back to years and years ago, they've all been sold out. Every single Get Your Book Done bootcamp is always sold out. And that's why I restrict the number of people that I let into the program, because I want to keep the Get Your Book Done bootcamp attendance low so I can get to know everybody and really, really help you write your book. And so when I show you the link, grab it. When I show you the link, grab it to get into the program so that you can get in before it is sold out. So there is one coming up in August. And here it is, August 11, 12, 13. Now, you might be sad because that's so soon. You might have a wedding planned, you might have a funeral planned, but get rid of it. Cancel anything. There's nothing you can do that is as important as getting branded by writing a book. So react, cancel the other appointments that you have, and get into August 11, 12, 13, and make it special, make it, go for it. Make this the change, make this the month that changes your life forever. Hopefully you're happy that it is so soon, but I've got something else to tell you. If you really can't get out of your appointments, then I've got some news for you. I hold it every month. I hold it every month. The next month is September. The next month is October. The next month is November. Oh, I'm sure you know your calendar. I hold it every month. And remember, you don't have to wait for the Get Your Book Done bootcamp, because as soon as you register, we unlock the 19 videos and you can start playing immediately and then go to the next bootcamp whenever it is. But there are still a few seats in August. Grab them. Get branded. Change your life sooner rather than later. And this is the most powerful testimonial of the entire universe.
My name is Nick Bradley, and I'm the award-winning author of Zero to Authentic Hero. Raymond showed me how to write a book and create a brand for myself. And I spent a few £1,000s doing that. But I wanted to get a good return on my investment. So I wanted to make tens of thousands of pounds back on that time. I went to a conference and I didn't even have a book. I hadn't even finished writing my book. So I printed the cover and I wrapped it around my notebook and I held it up. And I had one client who's paid me £50,000. And that's even before I had a book. So thank you, Raymond Aaron.
£50,000 before his book was finished. Wow. Now, I told you it's strictly limited admission, and I mean it. As soon as the link shows, grab it. Because if you wait too long, then when you go to the link, you might see this giant red banner, sorry, but this offer is sold out. If you see that, you can't get in. I have no hesitation in telling you that, because if I let too many people in, I can't do a good job getting to know the people in the class. I can't really help you, and I don't want to undermine that. And so I put a lid on the number of people that can get in, so that if you get in, I take really, really good care of you to make sure that you don't just have a great book, and you don't just have a great book that comes out on time, but that you have a great book that makes you money. So it's not 28,000. I'm going to give you a price drop because it's my birthday, and then I'm going to show you the link. You better grab that link quickly before the sold out banner shows up. Are you ready? Here it comes. This is for the upper important Platinum Plus level. This is for the higher level with 11 guarantees, the all important Platinum Plus, where I actually publish your book. Here it is. Here it comes. It's not 28,000. It's 2,800. 2,800. It's a 90% discount, a 90% discount. And here's the link. Grab it. Aaron.com/101010 program. Aaron.com/101010 program. You can either take the risk of typing it out yourself, or just look in the chat on the bottom of the screen. Click on the word chat and then look to your right side, and you will see in the chat, my good staff has put in the link as a hyperlink, so you can just click on it. It's only 2,800. It's 90% off. AARON.com/101010 program. That is it. Grab it before the red banner sold out shows up. And as an extra bonus, I will give you, remember that $3,000 Ultimate Authors Marketing Guide? I will give you that as a bonus at the pay in full tuition of $2,800. It's only $2,800 to get in. I'm giving you a $3,000 bonus. That's even more than the cost of the program. It's as if you're getting Platinum Plus for free. Wow, wow, wow. And there's also a payment plan. 4 easy monthly installments of only $787. $787 today, and then $787 a month from now, and then a month from now, and then a month from now. 4 easy installments of only $787. It's a discount at $2,800, and you get the $3,000 gift. So at $2,800, it's a discount, and you get a big $3,000 gift. But if you need the payment plan, then it's only 4 easy installments of $787. If you have room in your credit card for a few $100s, you get into the program. Wow, wow, wow. Aaron.com/101010 program. It's the same link, whether you want to pay in full and get the $3,000 bonus or whether you need the installment plan. It's exactly the same link. Grab it. Grab it. I have a screen over here, an extra screen, and I can see that the red banner is not yet up. So you still have a chance to get in. I can also see the number of people who are subscribing, and there's quite a few people subscribing already as we speak. There's nothing I say that's important from now on. There's nothing I say that's important. The only thing that's important is getting into this program. So stop listening to me and get into the program. Now at the lower level is platinum, and the platinum has only 5 guarantees. And at the platinum level, it's not $28,000. It is, wait till you see it, only $997. It's only $997. And yes, there is a payment plan for that, and it's at the link. And yes, you can purchase the lower platinum level and then upgrade later. Yes, and it's all available at aaron.com/101010 program. The upper level Platinum Plus or the lower level of Platinum, either pay in full or the payment plan. And also it's tax deductible against business income, because this is a legitimate expense against earning money. And so whatever is the tuition, it's even lower than that because it's tax deductible. Wow, wow, wow. I've created the perfect solution to upbrand you. The only thing so far missing in the solution is you. Grab it. There's nothing I say that's important from now on. Get into this program. Click on that link right now. Aaron.com/101010 program. I am the only book writing teacher who makes sure you make money with your book. I am the only book writing teacher who is a New York Times best-selling author. I am the only book writing teacher who has written a Chicken Soup book and a For Dummies book. I'm the only book writing teacher who can give you an official book launch. I'm the only book writing teacher who gives you 100% of your sales, not just 6%. That's incredible. I am the only book writing teacher who gives you a full-time coach to ensure your book gets done, called a personal book architect. And it's only $2,800, which is a 90% discount, for which you get a $3,000 gift or 4 easy installments of $787. You know what the link is. You've seen it before. Just click on it in the chat. And at the lower level, it's only $997. And yes, you can purchase that and upgrade later. And also there is a payment plan for that one as well. It's exactly the same link as I've showed you before. I'm the only book writing teacher who will do the forward for you. And I'm the only book writing teacher who will give you the whole thing for free. For free? Why didn't you tell me that before? Good question. And here's the deal. Register today, get in. The red banner's not up yet, so you can still get in. And when you tell people, they'll say, oh my gosh, you're writing a book. That's amazing. I've always wanted to write a book. And then you simply say to them, well, you know, I learned so much from this guy, Raymond Aaron, that the book wouldn't have been as good, maybe not even have come out at all, if I hadn't taken his course. And they'll say, well, me too. I want to take that course. And as soon as 2 of your friends take my course, as soon as 2 of your friends register, as soon as 2 of your friends put their hand up saying, I want in also, I will personally sign a check and mail you all your money back. I will personally sign a check and mail you all of your money back. Now they will get everything you get, but I can't afford to offer them the Ultimate Authors Marketing Guide. That is such a special deal that's only available to you. I'm the only book writing teacher who will show you how to write a great book in only 10 hours. Take 20 if you wish, but my clients actually get a great book done in 10 hours that makes them a lot of money. I'm the only book writing teacher who will show you how to hold your physical published book in your hand in only 10 weeks. But wait, there's even more. Guess what? You can reattend the Get Your Book Done Bootcamp as often as you wish for the rest of your life to write as many more books as you wish for the rest of your life. Wow, wow, wow. So here's the summary. At the all-important Platinum Plus level, it's only $2,800, which is a big discount, and you get the $3,000 Ultimate Authors Marketing Guide, and you get an 11-point guarantee at the higher level. And if you wish a payment plan, it's only 4 easy installments of $787. And as soon as 2 of your friends register, I will personally sign a check and give you all of your money back. There is the link, aaron.com/101010 program. And at the lower level, at the platinum level, it's only $997. And yes, you can upgrade later. And yes, there is a payment plan as well at the exact same link. And if you have any questions whatsoever, email me at help@aaron.com. People sometimes wonder, can I split it into 2 different credit cards? Email me at help@aaron.com and we'll take care of you. Sometimes people say, can you give me your office address so I can walk in and give you cash? Fine. Email us at help@aaron.com and we'll set up that appointment for you. People say to us, I don't want to use my credit card. Can I wire transfer you the money? Just email us at help@aaron.com. We'll give you all the details. If you have any questions whatsoever, email us at help@aaron.com and we'll take perfect care of you. aaron.com/101010 program. If you have no questions and just want to get in, or if you have any questions, email help@aaron.com and get in before you see this banner, because once you see this banner, it's sold out and I won't oversell. I will not oversell. I keep the Get Your Book Done bootcamps small so that you can really get connection with me. That's the summary of the Platinum Plus. It's the best deal I've ever offered. Grab it, grab it, grab it.